right, so what I'd like you to do is, well, you don't want to give your name, so at this point, just go ahead and you can give us an impact statement. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Michael Nowak. This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I. I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that, my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster, a demon. The very first time that I allowed you to be alone with my daughter, the very first time, and you couldn't even help yourself.
Damn.
You told me you was going to be right back. You were going downstairs. You were going to grab food and take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about loving and respecting me as a great mother that I was and am. And I actually believed you. I believed that you were going to bring her right back. I thought you were going to have this trusting conversation with her that you promised me. Her and I both trusted you. For a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her. Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. And you sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then forced her to see things that no child should ever have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that were found in her system.
Oh my God.
And you thought your master plan was mapped out perfectly, huh? You thought I'd be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me. You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely not. And although you executed your plan and you got what you wanted those couple of hours, you actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning, and I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me. And I called her too, but you took her phone. You drugged my baby. You gave her no way to seek help. You left me no way to contact her, even know where she was. I get physically sick now whenever I'm away from my daughter because of you. Something as simple as her going to school, I'm in panic mode. Because I'm scared when she comes back, she's going to be hurt all over again. I constantly have flashbacks of that night. And what she lives with is not okay. She feels uncomfortable around people and will live with this forever, and this is not fair to her. She never deserved this. Shame on you for forcing evil on our youth. And you know, for a year, I questioned, how could you even do this to us? Her and I did nothing wrong to you. We trusted you. I moved across the country because I believed everything that you told me. But it was pure manipulation I see now. All you do is specialize in selling false dreams. How can you do this to an innocent child and mother who simply trusted you? We did nothing wrong. But you know what? I'm done breaking my head trying to question or figure out how you could do such a thing. It's so simple to me now. You're just a sick man. A man you can have a plethora of women, but you secretly prefer to have a child. And it's so clear now. I will never be able to fully trust another person due to the betrayal that you've shown me. And for that, I was not willing to trust 6 strangers and go to trial. Nor was I going to put my daughter through an additional trauma. This plea was in our best interest. You and I both know the evidence is extremely substantial. But even with that, I refuse to have my child be tormented when she's done nothing wrong. All she holds is the truth. And I will say this. Although you were so worried about being labeled a sex offender, you did us a huge favor by admitting to guilt, period. So for that, I thank you. I truly thank you. Yes, mitigation took place, and I allowed it as long as it meant you going to prison and you getting true help. Because true help means no more victims. The fact that your only non-negotiable was to accept a sex crime shows exactly the type of man that you are. You know what you did in that hotel room. I know what you did, and my daughter knows what you did. DNA doesn't lie. There's no reason why your DNA should have been found on my baby.
Motion at your Ring video doorbell.
Your bogus request to not be labeled a sex offender, but it doesn't take away from who you truly are. I wasn't going to waste any time going back and forth with you over a label. God will judge you for exactly the person he knows you to be.
Yeah, it's really deep, man. I know y'all hearing her voice it's hard to put your
Knows you to be
foot in her
a
foot.
sexual predator. So rest assured, jail time equals jail time. And I pray children out of it. All you care about is your pretend image. But I know exactly who you are now. You want to be this public figure, but you want to do all your evil acts in secret. You're so self-centered. That's why the last time I saw you on February 27, 2021, you fought me. You tried to hold me hostage from taking my daughter to the hospital. I'll never forget that cowardly look in your eyes. I'll never forget it. You were so scared. You were so scared because you realized you messed with the wrong one. Your last words to me, you held me and said, please don't go. You're going to ruin my career. Well, today, September 6th, 2023, my last words to you are, I hope the next 17 years of your life, you're reminded of the disgusting, terrifying, unforgettable acts that you've done to my innocent daughter. Shame on you. And although you've caused a tremendous amount of trauma for myself and my daughter, we will and will always be superior of you, because a successful, honest career is something that you can never, ever have. We will both continue to stand against violence. My daughter will continue to persevere and be bright and intelligent and courageous young woman that she is. So, Michael Nowak, I hope you enjoy prison, and God bless you.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your courage for speaking. It is heartbreaking.
Yeah, shout out to Universal Black Media for this one. Definitely really deep, and definitely, don't trust anybody with your daughter, especially, you know what I mean? And it's not there's no way to slight her, because she definitely seemed like she did everything the correct way. Dude was sly and slick, like she said, the first time. So this is very sickening to the stomach. It's even hard to listen to, you know what I mean? But just hearing the pain in her voice, I felt, having a daughter, I felt like, it's just awareness for me, more awareness for me, you know what I mean? And the guilt she carries just for putting her daughter in a situation like that, and being not keeping her safe, and maybe she's feeling pressure. I don't know if they must be the father too, and I'm sure he wanna, like. So I can also see I could see where it's definitely very, 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 very bad. Very bad. And 7 years, I don't even think 7 years is enough for something like that. Because 7 years, he gonna get out and try to do it again. So he got 10 years, but the probation don't mean nothing because you see how these characters, they, like she said, they don't want regular women, they want young women, and not young women, they want women like teenagers, children. You know what I mean? So it, it's hard to how you gonna rehabilitate that? You know what I mean? In some sense, you're gonna have to you know, with I hate to say it, you know what I mean? How you gonna rehabilitate that? If it's a societal problem, how do you rehabilitate it? If it's a serial killer and it's causing problems, how do you rehabilitate that? I don't think you do. And in some cases, I don't know if it's an eye for an eye when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Because definitely is, the eye for eye may have to be a head for an eye, because they're hurting lives. They're not just hurting one person's life. It's multiple lives. It's multiple children that don't come forward. That don't have their the suspects. You know what I mean? The people who hurt them come forward or ever get caught. So this dude may have had a deck of cards already. So, and luckily this mom did the right thing. So it's hard to really to jump on and say hey, eye for eye, because it's 10 times, you know what I mean? And it's they ain't got bodies shown. They start to count the bodies, the missing bodies, but when you come to something like this, some of these kids, they get so traumatized, they forget it, they don't remember it, they never, it's just, they may feel at fault, or they may have, they may have been fooled to think, to keep it a secret. So I don't know. I hate to say they put them to death, but a 2-time, if it should be it should be one time, put them to death. And good thing I ain't running the country, because that's what I would do. I don't know, but listen to this part right here, this part at the start, when she said the first
nightmares to my daughter and I.
David, yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Michael Nowak. This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I. I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that, my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster, a demon. The very first time that I allowed you to be alone with my daughter.
She said the very first time.
Zoom, and she's requesting.
Sorry about
Heal
that.
when I'm not even healed myself. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that, my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster, a demon. The very first time that I allowed you to be alone with my daughter, the very first time, and you couldn't even help yourself.
The very first time. It only takes just one time. The very first time, right? He did. Man, this is crazy. He didn't, that's how sick he was. He gave him 7 years? Hold on, Tory Lanez got more time. You gave him 7 years. That's crazy.
You told me you was gonna be right back. You were going downstairs. You were gonna grab food and take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about loving and respecting me as a great mother that I was and am. And I actually believed you. I believed that you were gonna bring her right back.
And that's where she's kind of feeling bad on. She said, "I believed you. Like, you fooled me, but I shouldn't have believed you." Like, she sound like she got a good head on her shoulders, but you see how these predators, they're so sway, they'll go to any extent. So it really worries me. It really worries me. Let's keep on playing this again. I know we already went through it once. Let's go through it again.
I thought you were gonna have this trusting conversation with her that you promised me. Her and I both trusted you. For a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl.
You plotted. He plotted on them. Like, long term. Like, he was looking for the girl with the daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, the extent that they will go through to feed this obsession. I mean, is it not an argument we're going to, do you or do you not? You know what I mean? My man, he's 40 years old right now. Maybe he was 38 when it happened. She's 14 years old. So that's 2 times, almost 3 times, minus 4 years. So, like, what do you do with somebody like this? Because you know it's not the first time. If something else pops up, what do you do? And I'm not trying to make an example of the black man, because I say the same thing for all of them. What do? You gotta pull the trigger. Let's go.
The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back.
Intoxicate, isolate, intoxicate, then violate.
Intoxicate, then violate my baby.
Intoxicate.
Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her.
And just the amount of trauma, that's in this girl now because of the situation. You know what I mean? The first time, right? Like, he snatched, he drugged her, did all this. Like, so he was supposed to have a talk with her. You know, so just to say, like, drugs, you know, alcohol, and sexual stuff, this kid is traumatized, you know, for life.
Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. You sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then forced her to see things that no child should ever have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that were found in her system.
Oh my God.
And you thought your master plan was mapped out perfectly, huh? You thought I'd be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me. You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely not. And although you executed your plan and you got what you wanted those couple of hours, you actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I.
A lifetime of trauma for her daughter and her.
Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning, and I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me. And I called her too, but you took her phone. You drugged my baby and you gave her no way to seek help. You left me no way to contact her or even know where she was. I get physically sick now whenever I'm away from my daughter because of you. Something as simple as her going to school, I'm in panic mode. Because I'm scared when she comes back, she's going to be hurt all over again.
In the school, and you know what I mean? She has a really good point about the schools.
I constantly have flashbacks of that night. And what she lives with is not okay. She feels feels uncomfortable around people and will live with this forever, and this is not fair to her. She never deserved this. Shame on you for forcing evil on our youth.
Yeah, so Polight, Brother Polight, what's his name? I don't even, like, 10, he need to, I hope he violate, and I hope he served that full 17 years and even more, maybe. You know what I mean? I really hate to see this man come out and hurt more children. And if y'all, I'm gonna shout out Black, where I get this from? Black Media, Universal Black Media. Shout out again. Go there, click the subscribe button for them. You know what I mean? Get them numbers up. You know what I'm saying? Go tap in with them, y'all. But definitely, y'all like, subscribe here, comment, do everything you got to do, man. This is just trying to bring some accountability to just the violations. You know what I mean? They violating right here, and this is a violation, and it should be consequent. It should lead to death. You know, in my world, but I don't want to run the world. You know what I mean? Be like Wayward Pines. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. But go ahead, y'all have a good one. I mean, just protect your children, your daughters especially, you know, and prepare them for situations that could come like this, of people that you trust, and that, you know what I mean, they may feel some type of way, but they trust them because you trust them, you know what I mean? So it's just really important that the people you have around your family is vetted, you know what I mean? And if you got a feeling, then, you know, just, you're going to have to address it, you know what I mean, and dig for that answer, because all, like she said, it's just that first time.